Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Hawaii in Microsoft Flight Simulator flying the Cessna 152. We have a 60 nautical mile flight from Kalaeloa, Papa Hotel Juliet Roger, to Molokai, Papa Hotel Mike Kilo. We'll be flying a VFR, departing from a Delta, getting a Bravo transition, and arriving at a Delta. We've got fantastic scenery along the way with a bunch of mods to give us some awesome photogrammetry and realism. Should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. Alright, we're sitting here on the northwest ramp of Kalaeloa. This used to be a military base, and there's still a ton of military aircraft around here. I'm not sure if these are here in real life, but it certainly looks cool. So we'll get the door closed, latch, the window opened. We'll check that our parking brake is set, primer is in and locked, switches are off, carb heat's in, throttle idle, mixture to idle cutoff. Our trim is set to takeoff. Our fuel selector will rotate into the on position. Check that the prop is clear. Turn on the battery and the alternator. We've got full fuel tanks for fuel left and right. Call clear prop. Head back down here. Mixture into full rich. Crack the throttle. Feet on the brakes. We're going to prime it 1, 2, 3. And we're going to crank it over. Oops. There we go. We got oil pressure in the green. RPMs are a little high, so we'll bring those back down. And lean the mixture. Bring RPMs up just a tad. There we go. Alright, next we'll get the avionics on. So transponder needs to be reset to 1200. They're probably going to give us a squawk code. We'll set that to standby, and then we'll get COM 1, COM 2 radios turned on.
Kalaeloa Airport, Information Uniform. 2253 Zulu. Wind 121 at 10. Visibility 10. Sky
Alright,
conditions.
I'll open up for flight and take you through the flight brief. So we are departing from a Class Delta, managing the Honolulu Class Bravo, and arriving at another Class Delta, which is Molokai Airport. If I toggle over to map view, it's a little bit easier to see the landmarks that we're going to use to navigate. So we're on departure, we're going to fly northwest, leveling out at 1,500 so that we remain beneath the Bravo. We'll pick up Interstate H1 and follow it to the northeast. Once we do that, we'll be outside of the Bravo so we can climb to 3,500. That will also give us enough time to contact Honolulu Approach and get a Bravo clearance to enter the Bravo. We'll continue following H1 until we get to the H1-H2 interchange, and that'll be our visual waypoint to turn east. That'll take us right over Pearl Harbor, and Pearl Harbor is modeled in the sim, so we should have some great scenery. I have installed a mod to give us even better scenery, which will be the USS Missouri and the Pearl Harbor Monument. Our next visual waypoint is Aloha Stadium, right on the other side of Pearl Harbor. Can't miss it. We'll continue following the interstate, looking for the Honolulu Country Club golf course. Next we've got the Punch Bowl, which is a big crater that we'll be flying just north of. That's also north of Waikiki Beach, which just is beautiful with all the photogrammetry that I installed for this flight. We've got another crater, which is Diamond Head Crater, big visual waypoint. Next we'll arrive at Coco Head VOR, which is right at Hanauma Bay, which will be very easy to spot. We're going to follow the radial between Coco Head and Molokai, arrive at Popahako Beach, and then get pattern entry instructions from Molokai Tower, and go from there. We've got some restricted airspace and TFRs to manage near our departure field, and if you click on those TFRs, you see that they are for missile, gun, or rocket live firing, so we definitely don't want to drift to the north side of the island.
Squawk 4264.
Kalaeloa clearance, Cessna 565 Whiskey is a C152 slant alpha. Request east VFR departure at 3,500 with information uniform.
On departure, maintain VFR at or below 3,500 feet. Departure on 118.3. Squawk 1432.
Maintain VFR at or below 4,500, departure 118.3, squawk 1432, Cessna 565 Whiskey. You can just read back the text from the Say Intentions window, but for a more hardcore and authentic pilot experience, keep the window closed and rely on your memory or kneeboard.
Cessna 565 Whiskey, Kalaeloa clearance, read back correct.
Kalaeloa ground, Cessna 565 Whiskey Northwest ramp, taxi for east departure with information uniform.
Cessna 565 Whiskey, Kalealoa ground, taxi to runway 4 left via taxiways Alpha and Bravo.
Taxi 4 left via Alpha Bravo, Cessna 565 Whiskey. I am really enjoying these Hawaiian flights. The scenery here is amazing, and this is a freeware airport, but the other airport we're going to is a payware by Northern Sky, and they make just a bunch of other airports I might get for Hawaii.
To runway 02 via Alpha 1, Alpha 3, Alpha 4, Alpha 5, Alpha 6.
Alright, we'll stop here and do our run-up. We've got the parking brake set. Elevator up, elevator down, left rudder, right aileron down, left aileron down. Head down here, mixture into full rich. Now we'll bring up the throttle and do the mag check. Kalealoa Tower, Cessna 565 Whiskey, holding short, runway 4 left, ready for departure.
4 left, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 4 left, Cessna 565 Whiskey. Even though Hawaii was updated as part of the Oceania update for Microsoft Flight Simulator, it really doesn't have a lot of photogrammetry, so to get the flight to look like it's going to look in this video today, you need to add some mods. So check out the video details if you would like to get those mods. The Waikiki photogrammetry mod is just amazing, and you'll get to see some cinematic shots as we overfly that area. Alright, airspeed's alive. We are at speed. A bit sluggish here, doesn't quite want to take off. There we go. Our altitude is nearly sea level. Maybe it's just because it's hot out. Alright, we are 500 feet above ground, beyond the edge of the runway, so we're going to make our initial turn to the northwest.
Cessna 565 Whiskey, Kalealoa Tower. Contact departure.
Over to departure, Cessna 565 Whiskey. HCF approach, Cessna 565 Whiskey, 1,400, climbing 1,500.
Cessna 565 Whiskey, HCF approach, radar contact.
Alright, we're approaching Interstate H1 and Molokai Parkway, so we'll turn north for our first waypoint. HCF approach, Cessna 565 Whiskey, request Honolulu class Bravo, clearance to the east at 3,500.
Cessna 65 Whiskey, you are cleared into the Honolulu class Bravo airspace.
Cleared into the Honolulu class Bravo, Cessna 565 Whiskey.
Well, I left my shores 1 month ago. I was sailing across the blue.
Delta Juliet on the
The waters teemed with violent storms to send my boat untrue. Atlantic bound I was no more, Indian a far off thorn. The wind and waves crushed my bone, settling a 10-year score. Pacific, why do you hold me?
Cessna 565 Whiskey, HCF Center. Good afternoon, Honolulu altimeter 2991.
Or a crime. Pacific, why don't you lose me into your night? Silver stars at dark, I could not tell my way.
234, maintain flight level
For it
290.
seemed as though by the light of dawn, the sky would turn to gray. Don't you let that boy see the sun, lest he find his path. I have him now for myself, a pill unto my wrath. Pacific,
Cessna 565 Whiskey, HCF approach, good afternoon, Honolulu altimeter 2991.
why do you keep me to a war or a crime? Pacific, why don't you
Cessna 565 Whiskey, HCF Center. Good afternoon, Kalaeloa altimeter 2991.
Pacific, why do you hold
HCF Center, Cessna 565 Whiskey, request to go off frequency for a minute to get the weather.
Cessna 65 Whiskey, approved. Report back when ready.
We'll report back when ready, Cessna 565 Whiskey.
Molokai Airport, information Victor. 2254 Zulu. Wind 151 at 7.
HCF Center, Cessna 565 Whiskey, back in frequency.
Cessna 65 Whiskey, roger. Whiskey, contact Molokai Tower on 125.7.
Over to tower on 125.7, Cessna 565 Whiskey. Molokai Tower, Cessna 565 Whiskey, 12 miles west at 3,500 inbound for full stop with information Victor.
65 Whiskey, Molokai Tower, enter left downwind for runway 17.
Left downwind, runway 17, Cessna 565 Whiskey.
At 11, runway 17, clear to land.
I was sailing across the blue. The waters teemed with violent storms to send my boat untrue. And
Molokai
then
Tower, ready for
bound
departure
I
on
was no more
52.
Indian
Cessna and 4152 Molokai Tower, wind 069er at 26, runway 5,
crush
clear.
my bone, settling in
Quebec is going around.
Pacific.
After go around, after the go around, make left close traffic for runway 35. Report midfield downwind each time. Cessna 65 Whiskey, welcome to Molokai. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Cessna 565 Whiskey, Molokai ground, taxi to general aviation parking via Alpha.
Alright, that scenery was fantastic. I was particularly impressed by the Waikiki photogrammetry freeware pack from flightsim.to. Be sure to install it if you are going to do this flight. Let's hop out of the plane and walk around Molokai Airport as we do the debrief. I am really enjoying the Hawaiian island hopping, so I'll be sure to do some more flights. It's got a lot of complexity of airspace and terrain to manage, and with AI ATC and all of the handoffs, it keeps you on your toes. So I hope you enjoy realistic general aviation flying like this. If you do, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, as always, for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.